Welcome back, dear students. Yesterday, in the last previous session, we have discussed and started with the chapter number 3, human reproduction. So we will go in just brief revision what we have discussed in the last session, and then we will go ahead. You know that human is a unisexual living organism where the male and female sexes are different. They exhibit a sexual dimorphism. So if you look the characteristic of male and female externally as well as internally, they are different. Human is a viviparous animal. They give a birth to a young one. We also have learned a few words and terminologies which are very important in this chapter, like we have seen insemination, means deposition of sperm into a female reproductive tract. Next, we have also discussed implantation, that means attachment of the blastocyst to the wall of uterus. This is called as an implantation. We have also discussed the gestation, commonly what we call it as pregnancy. Okay. Next, we have also delivered the parturition. We have also seen the parturition, that means a delivery of a baby, and lactation, that means providing a nourishment to the offspring. Now, as like the other living organism who reproduces sexually, the human also reproduces sexually. Like for an example, the processes which occurs in it are the same, like pre-fertilization, fertilization and the post-fertilization. The events remain a basic same, and we have already started with a male reproductive system. Okay, you know that the male reproductive system in a human being, it consists of 4 main parts. First is called as testes. Second one is called as SSL Adults. Third one is called as SSL glands. And the fourth one is called as external genitalia. From this 4 part, yesterday we have discussed the testes. Testes are oval in shape, present outside the abdominal cavity. They are covered by a pouch-like structure called as scrotum. The scrotum helps to maintain the temperature of testes to 2.5 degrees centigrade lower than the body temperature, because this lower temperature promotes a process called as spermatogenesis. This testes, each testes, they are covered by its covering. The name of this covering is called as a tunica albuginea. This covering that extends inwards and they divides the testes into a 250 testicular lobules. So each testis is divided into 250 testicular lobule. Each testicular lobule, they contain 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. Okay, this lining of seminiferous tubule, they contains male germ cell and Sertoli cell. Male germ cell develops into a sperm by a process called as meiosis, and Sertoli cell, it provides a nourishment to a developing sperm. Apart from that, we have also seen a Leydig cell. They are present outside the cell, or they are present in an interstitial space of seminiferous tubule. The function of this Leydig cell or interstitial cell, they secrete some male androgen called as testosterone, and they help or responsible for male sexual behavior and production of a sperm. This much what we have discussed yesterday. Okay, now we will go ahead and then we will discuss the other parts. So today we have to discuss accessory ducts, accessory glands and external genitalia. Okay, so starting with the first accessory ducts. Which are the accessory ducts? They are found into a male reproductive system. In a male reproductive system, the accessory ducts which are found are retitestes, next vasa efferentia, next it's epididymis, and fourth one is vas deferens. These are accessory duct which is present in it. The testis is considered as primary sexual organ in male reproductive system, whereas these 4 that's retitestes, vasa efferentia, epididymis and the vas deferens, they are considered as SSL Adults in a male reproductive system. Okay, so let's start how it's look like and what are the components they are present in it. Okay, so let's start. You know that these are the testes. How many testes? The testes are present in a pair. We will keep a large distance so you can easily differentiate. Testes are oval in shape. Okay, they are divided into a lobules, and now you know that one lobule that contains 1, 2, 3 seminiferous tubule. This seminiferous tubule, it connects to a retitestes. Okay, the seminiferous tubules, it connect or it opens into a retitestes. Retitestes that opens into a vasa efferentia. They are simple, just like a structure like a duct or a tube. And the vasa efferentia, it connects with a epididymis. Okay, and through a epididymis, the tube that comes out from the posterior region of a testis. So suppose assume that this is the posterior region of a testis. From that, this epididymis, it comes out. Clear? This is a simple tube-like structure. So if you consider this is the posterior region, from this posterior region, this tube-like structure which is coming out of this posterior region. Okay? So this is a epididymis which comes out of it. I again repeat, you know that within a testis there is a presence of seminiferous tubule, a tube-like structure. Okay, that tube-like structure, it connects or opens into a retitestes, another tube. Retitestes opens into a vasa efferentia. Okay, and the vasa efferentia that connects with the epididymis. The epididymis, it comes out of a testis from its posterior surface. From each testis, a tube-like, a highly coiled tube-like structures that comes out. This is called as epididymis. Okay. This epididymis is a highly coiled and it's a long structure. What is the function of this epididymis? It's a serve as temporary storage site of a sperm. Okay, it's a temporary storage site of sperm where the sperms are stored temporarily, that is stored into an epididymis, and it's a very long. Even it has been believed that here the sperm can be stored as long as for 1 month. The sperm are stored into an epididymis. Here a process of maturation of sperm takes place. Okay, in epididymis, the immature sperm, they becomes a mature one. Okay, the process occurs into an epididymis. Okay, so what is an epididymis? The epididymis is a highly coiled tube-like structure. It's a highly coiled tube-like structure which comes out from posterior surface of testes. From each testis, the tube comes out. What is its role? There are two roles. First role, it serves as a temporary storage site of a sperm, and the second role, it is also involved into a maturation of sperm, a site for maturation of sperm. Clear? So it is a site for maturation of sperm. Okay. Now this epididymis, it goes upward or it ascends upward. Clear? In a simple tube-like structure. And this going upward, this is known as the another tube. This is called as vas deferens. What it is called as? Vas deferens. And this one, it's called as an epididymis. Okay, this is a tube, what we call it as vas deferens. Okay, now what happens? See the structure. Here there is a presence of a urinary bladder. This is a urinary bladder. Okay. Now the vas deferens, which is going upward, it makes a loop over a loop. See, this is a loop. It forms a loop. A loop over the urinary bladder. And they connect. Okay, so it makes a loop over a urinary bladder. Okay, this one is considered as urinary bladder. You know that what is the function of urinary bladder? The urinary bladder, it stores the urine. Okay, so that urine comes from both the kidneys via ureter. This is a ureter which carries the urine from a kidney, and here the urine stores. So the vas deferens which is going upwards, it make a loop and they join together. So this is a vas deferens. Okay, so these four are accessory ducts which is present into a male reproductive system. Okay, so again repeat, how many accessory ducts are there? Four accessory ducts are there: retitestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis and vas deferens. Okay, retitestis, the seminiferous tubules opens into a retitestis, it opens into a vasa efferentia opens into a epididymis comes out of the testis from its posterior surface, then it going upward, what we call it as vas deferens. Vas deferens is again a simple tube like structure, it makes a loop over a urinary bladder. Okay, and the vas deferens which comes out from both the sides, they unite together. Okay, now what is the function of this epididymis? The function of this epididymis, it serves as temporary storage type of a sperm, and it is also responsible for maturation of a sperm. It's a site for maturation of a sperm. When a male is sexually stimulated, the sperm which is present in the epididymis, that moves in a vas deferens. Clear? So that's all about accessory ducts. Clear, students? Now, the third part in a male reproductive system is a accessory glands. The third part, we have discussed these two, testes and accessory ducts. Now we are discussing this accessory glands. How many accessory glands are present in a male reproductive system? There are three accessory glands which are present into a male reproductive system. The first one, it's called as seminal vesicle. The second one, it's called as prostate gland. And the third one, it's called as bulbourethral gland. Clear? How many accessory glands are present into a human being? Three: seminal vesicle, prostate gland and the bulbourethral gland. They combine together and form the accessory glands. The gland, they secrete some kind of a secretions, and they have a role in a reproduction process or reproduction related processes that have a role of the secretions which are secreted by these glands. So there are three glands: seminal vesicle, prostate gland and the bulbourethral glands, which are a part of accessory male reproductive glands. Let's discuss one by one individually. The first one is seminal vesicle. Okay, where these seminal vesicles are present? Here there is a presence of a seminal vesicle gland. See, seminal vesicle gland, these are the seminal vesicle gland. Seminal vesicle. Okay, these seminal vesicle glands, they are present in a pair. Means two seminal vesicle gland is present. This seminal vesicle, it connects with vas deferens, a tube of vas deferens. It connects with vas deferens. Okay, and what it forms? It forms this tube. Okay, what we call it as ejaculatory duct. Ejaculatory duct. Okay, seminal vesicle, it is a paired gland, means they occur in two in number. Okay, from both the sides. Okay, next they are connects with a vas deferens, and what it forms? It forms ejaculatory duct. Means a vas deferens and seminal vesicle, both their tubes, they unite together, and now a single tube which is going to be formed. What we call it as ejaculatory duct. Now what is the location of this seminal vesicle? The seminal vesicle that is present at the base of urinary bladder. This red color is a urinary bladder. At the base of this urinary bladder, there is a presence of seminal vesicle. Okay. Now the another gland. See, this go ahead. Ejaculatory duct. Okay. That ejaculatory duct also unites together with a urethra. But at the base there is also presence of one more gland which I am drawing with a red color, and this is called as prostate gland. What's called as prostate gland. Okay. Now apart from prostate gland there is also presence of one more gland like this. Okay, and this gland is called as bulbourethral gland. And then all this they unite together and continue to grow. Clear? So this is a prostate gland and the bulbourethral gland. Prostate gland, how many prostate gland is present? Okay, you know that seminal vesicle that present in a pair. How many prostate gland is present? The prostate gland is only one prostate gland is present. Okay, where it is present? It is present at the posterior surface of urinary bladder. But here it is difficult to show the posterior surface, the behind surface, so I have drawn over here. It is a prostate gland. Where it is present? The prostate gland that is present on the posterior surface, means behind the surface of a urinary bladder. Okay, and that is only one prostate gland. When it goes, the urethra now it goes. Okay, the urethra passes through a penis. It is also connected with a bulbourethral gland. It's connected with a bulbourethral gland. Okay, so now see the location of seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle that is present at the base of urinary bladder. Prostate gland that is present at the posterior surface of a urinary bladder, and the bulbourethral gland that is attached on the lateral side of urethra. They are present on the lateral side of a urethra. The bulbourethral gland is present. The bulbourethral gland that is also in a pair, means two in number 1, 2. One is on one side, the other one is on another side. So the lateral two bulbourethral glands are present. Okay, they are present on the lateral side of an urethra. Okay, so these are the three glands: seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and bulbourethral gland. Seminal vesicle and the bulbourethral glands, they are present in pair. Only the prostate gland that is present as a single. Okay. Now see what are their secretions. Seminal vesicle, it secretes its secretion and it contributes 60% volume of a semen. It contributes 60% volume of semen, that is contributed by a fluid or the secretion from seminal vesicle. Okay. Now what are the characteristics of the secretions of this seminal vesicle? The secretion is such that it is thick yellowish secretion. It is a thick yellowish colored secretion which occurs from the seminal vesicle, and that is rich in sugar, vitamin C, etc. Which sugar is present in the seminal vesicle? The sugar which is present in the seminal vesicle, remember the name of sugar, it's very important, MCQ point of view, that is called as fructose. Here the sugar which is present in the fluid of seminal vesicle is a fructose, and they provide energy to a sperm. Okay, they provide energy to a sperm. Okay, so again repeat, what is the characteristic of a fluid secreted by seminal vesicle? Seminal vesicle secretes a fluid and they contribute 60% volume of a semen. What is semen? That we will see later on today. Okay, what are the characteristics of this fluid? It is a thick yellowish color fluid, and this fluid is rich in sugar, vitamin C, and other substances like including the iron. Which sugar is present in this? The sugar that is present is a fructose, and that fructose, it provides a nourishment or energy to an sperm. Okay. Now the second gland, and this is called as a prostate gland. What is the characteristic of the secretion of prostate gland? Here the characteristic is that it is milky white in appearance. Okay. What is the characteristic of prostate gland? Here the secretion is milky white in appearance. Remaining 30% of volume that is contributed by a prostate gland. 30% volume is contributed by in a semen, that is contributed by prostate gland. And what is its function? Its function is that it helps in activity or activation of a sperm. It helps in the activity or activation of a sperm. Means it provides motility to a sperm. Okay, it makes the sperm motile. So that's why now the sperm becomes active and can move or can swim. So that swimming capacity can be gained by or provided by this secretions from prostate gland. Okay. Now the third gland, it's called as a bulbourethral gland. This is a third gland. The secretion of this bulbourethral gland, that is, it is alkaline in nature. Okay, it is an alkaline in nature, basic in nature, and very small quantity is contributed by bulbourethral gland. Just 5-10% of the quantity is contributed by it. Okay, what is its function? Its function is it serves as a lubricant during a sexual intercourse, or you can say a coitus process, a sexual act. During the sexual act, the secretions of bulbourethral gland, they provide a lubrication. It is alkaline in nature. Okay, so these are the three accessory glands: seminal vesicle, prostate gland, bulbourethral gland. I just repeat out so you can come to know that seminal vesicle and bulbourethral gland, they are present in a pair. Prostate gland is a single one. Seminal vesicle, that is present at the base of urinary bladder. Prostate gland, that is present on the posterior surface of urinary bladder, and bulbourethral gland, that is present on the lateral side of it. Okay, lateral side of an urethra. What is the characteristic? 60% volume of semen is contributed by seminal vesicle. It's rich in sugar, vitamin C. The sugar present is a fructose. It provides energy to a sperm. The secretion is thick and yellowish in color. Next is the prostate gland. It contributes 30% volume in the semen, and it is a milky white in appearance. Its function is it activates the sperm, or it provides a motility to a sperm, so the sperm can gain swimming capacity. Third is bulbourethral gland. It is also in a pair. A very small quantity is contributed by it. Its secretion is alkaline, a basic. And what is its function? Its function is that it provides a lubrication during a sexual intercourse. So that's all about the accessory glands. Okay. Now the fourth part of male reproductive system is the external genitalia. So what the external genitalia includes? Here we have used the word semen, but that we will see later what is semen. At the end we will see. First we will discuss the structure. And now we have a fourth part in a male reproductive system, and that is an external genitalia. See, this urethra, it passes through a penis. Okay, and which is the external genitalia in a male? In a male, the external genitalia is a penis. A penis is considered as external genitalia or external genital organ in male reproductive system. Okay, so how it's look like? Okay, so this is external genitalia. What passes? This red color. What it passes? The urethra passes. Okay. Now this urethra, it opens at the end. Okay, through an opening, and this opening is called as urethral meatus. It's called as urethral meatus. Okay, this is a tube-like structure through which the urine can also pass from urinary bladder, as well as the semen can also pass, because the semen comes from this tube, because ultimately this all tube combines together. So here a penis is a part which is responsible for a secretion or discharge of both in a male, that is urine as well as a semen. Okay, that is discharged by it, and that is through a opening, a small opening that is present at the terminal end of penis, that is called as urethral meatus. Okay, if you see the terminal end, that's a slightly enlarged and swollen. This part is slightly enlarged and swollen. This enlarged and swollen part of a penis, and that is considered as glans penis. Okay, what it is called as glans penis. Okay, this glans penis that is covered by a loose fold of a skin. It's covered by a loose fold of a skin, and this loose fold of a skin that is considered as foreskin. What's called as foreskin. Okay, in certain religions, this foreskin has been removed, and the process of removing this foreskin that is called as circumcision. Okay, what it is called as circumcision, a removal of a foreskin, that is considered as circumcision. Okay, I again repeat, which is an external genitalia or external genital organ in a male, it is a penis. Okay, that urethra passes through a penis and it opens outside through a small opening. That opening is called as urethral meatus. Okay, the terminal end of a penis is slightly enlarged, what we call it as glans penis. Okay, and that glans penis is covered with a loose folds of skin, and that is called as a foreskin. Okay, the removal process of removing this foreskin, that process is called as circumcision. What's called as circumcision. Okay, now what the penis composed of? See, this is what the penis composed of. It composed of a sponge-like tissues, like this is a blue color what I have shown. It is a sponge-like tissues. There are presence of 3 sponge-like tissues, 2 on lateral side, 1 is on ventral side. 3 sponge-like tissues are present, and they possess blood vessels. They possess a blood vessel. When a male is sexually stimulated, this sponge-like tissue, it's filled with blood vessel. It's filled with blood. As it possesses the sponge-like tissue, it possesses a blood vessel. When the male is sexually stimulated or aroused, that blood vessels are filled with the blood, and that leads to that makes this penis stiff and rigid, or it makes the penis hard. Okay, and that process is called as erection. What it is called as erection? Remember this word. What is called as an erection? Erection means a hardening of penis due to a filling of sponge-like tissues with a blood. Okay, and that make the penis hard and rigid. That process is called as erection. Okay, erection is one of the event to deposit the sperm into a female genital tract. Okay, that means into a vagina. And you know that process, that is called as insemination. Due to erection, the insemination is possible. Means a deposition of sperm into a vagina is possible. Okay, and when erection occurs, when male is sexually stimulated, and when he is stimulated, it's filled with blood vessels and becomes a hard and rigid, and that process is called as erection. And due to erection, insemination process is possible. Okay, so that's all about the external genitalia in a male, what we call it as penis. So this is an overall diagram of a male reproductive system. Okay, so what it includes, I just briefly revised. It includes testes, SSL duct, SSL gland, external genitalia. Testes, 2 in number, you know what is present in it. SSL ducts, 4 SSL ducts, retitestes, vasa efferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. We have already learned it with its function. SSL glands, 3 SSL glands are present. Seminal vesicle, a pair of seminal vesicle, a prostate gland, a pair of bulbourethral gland, and 4th is external genitalia. In a male, the external genitalia is a penis. Okay, so that's all about it. Now that's all about the male reproductive system. You have to remember this diagram, because this diagram is important examination of point of view. You may be asked regarding to describe a male reproductive system. Okay, which was asked in the previous examination. Now you know that when male is sexually stimulated, all these secretions, sperm and secretions of accessory glands, they are discharged. Okay, so that common fluid, what it is called, that's called as semen. So let's discuss what is a semen. Okay, so what is a semen? The semen is a mixture of, it's a mixture of what? Sperm and secretions of from accessory glands. Okay, it is a secretions from accessory gland. So it is a mixture of sperm. Semen not only consists of a sperm, and do not confuse that sperm and semen are the same. Both are different one. Sperm, that is a male gamete that only consists of a male gamete, and semen, a semen is a mixture of sperm and the secretions from accessory reproductive glands like seminal vesicle gland, prostate gland and bulbourethral gland. They secrete their secretions. They mix with the sperm and they form a semen. Usually, we do not account secretions from bulbourethral gland in this semen, that we do not consider. Otherwise, the secretion from seminal vesicle and secretion from prostate gland, they are a part of a semen. Okay. Now, what is the characteristic of this semen? How this semen looks like? The semen is a thick white mixture. Okay, and it is a sticky mixture. It's a sticky mixture. Okay, so how it's look like? What is the characteristic of this semen? The semen is thick, white, sticky mixture. Okay, and that consists of sperm and secretions from accessory reproductive glands. Okay. Now, what is the pH of this semen? You have to remember what is the pH. The pH of semen is 7.2 to 7.6. This is a pH. Okay, that is somewhat alkaline in nature. It's a somewhat alkaline in nature. Why it is alkaline? Because the pH of vagina is 3.5 to 4. This is the pH of vagina. Clear? So as the pH of vagina is acidic, okay, 3.5 to 4, it is acidic. So the pH of semen is basic. So when both comes together, ultimately they becomes a neutral. Okay, and thus it protect the delicate sperm which is present in it. Okay, so that's why to protect this delicate sperm, the pH of semen is alkaline, and that alkalinity is provided by the secretion of bulbourethral gland. Okay, next, what is the volume of semen in each ejaculation, in one discharge or ejaculation? Okay, ejaculation, see the word ejaculation means a discharge. Okay, discharge of a semen, this is called as ejaculation. How much semen gets discharged? Usually in one ejaculation, 3 to 4 ml of semen it gets ejaculated. Okay, how much? It's a 3 to 4 ml that's going to be ejaculated, and that contains 3 to 4 ml of a semen that contains how many sperms? It is not a single sperm which is present. In each ejaculation, 200 to 300 millions sperms are present. Okay, how many sperms are present? 200 to 300 million sperms are present. So this is a characteristic of a semen. Okay, so what is a semen? A semen is a thick, white, sticky mixture of what? Sperm and secretions from accessory reproductive gland of male. Here, what is the pH? The pH of semen is 7.2 to 7.6, slightly alkaline. Why it is slightly alkaline? Because the pH of vagina is 3.5 to 4, and to protect the delicate lining, so it is alkaline. So when they both mix together, it becomes acidic. Usually, the volume of semen that is ejaculated in one go, that is 3 to 4 ml of semen, and that 3 to 4 ml of semen, it contains 200 to 300 million of sperms, and this much quantity of a sperm are necessary for fertilization, because we know that during the gamete transfer or transferring the sperm, many gets lost or damaged and are not capable to reach to a ovum. So that's why to compensate this loss, the higher number of sperms are going to be produced. Okay, so that's all about secretions or discharge from a male reproductive tract, what we call it as semen. So here we finish with a male reproductive system. The whole part of male reproductive system have been finished. Okay, so learn this, learn the question answers of exercise given to you. Keep learning and watch this video. Okay, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. Okay, thank you.